We're going to start from a fresh app, and we're going to try to add can fulfill intent request in. What this does for our customers is it makes it so the apps we build can be discovered naturally from customers that don't include an invocation phrase. So it's name-free interactions. Unlike the invocation of most Amazon Alexa skills where you have to actually include the invocation phrase, once you've implemented can fulfill intent request, Amazon is able to map user requests which don't specify a skill and can't be handled by Alexa's built-in features to the developer's skills that can handle it. So what we need to do is we'll need to add in the ability to return to the Alexa voice service whether or not we are able to fulfill, we cannot fulfill, or we can possibly fulfill. We're going to try to invoke this with the simplest thing that could possibly work. My main intention with this is to try to figure out why it's not working in one of my current projects. We, as Voice First, have been trying to add in can fulfill intent requests to our dry cleaner service, and it hasn't been working out. So we'll see if it works with a fresh skill by getting started. First thing we'll want to do is create a new directory, unless I already have one called delete. I do. Cool. So we will, inside of this delete folder, we'll go Jovo new, followed by the name of our project, so can fulfill test. Jovo will go ahead and create that project for us. And in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and look at what it is we need to do moving forward. Looks like the next step we'll want to do is go to our project.js file and add in an interface into there. So as soon as that's done, we'll go on to that, and then we'll do a build and deploy. We'll want to just do a simple one with this .canfill request. Here is actually me asking the question. It's talking about the error that I got, and it is yet to get any sort of response. So hopefully this video will help the Jovo team and other shareholders to be able to see what the problem is, how they can replicate the issue, to be able to help me out. We've got that created. So we'll go to the can fulfill intent request, and then we'll go Jovo run to verify that everything runs. Cool. It looks like we are successfully up. We'll verify with our Jovo debugger with the quick launch. Cool. We get the typical hello world, what's your name? With that, let's go ahead and copy this into our skill. Open folder, we'll go to projects, delete, can fulfill test. Alright, inside of this project space, we want to go to project.js and add inside of Alexa skill, we want to add all of this manifest. Alright, now we've added in can fulfill intent request into here, so what we can do next is we can go Jovo build. One thing we have not included yet is our skill ID or our endpoint. So I want to see skill ID. Okay, I wonder if we can find project.js. Control F for skill ID. Cool, we can put that right there. Right inside of Alexa skill. Skill ID. So let's create a new skill in the Alexa developer portal that we can deploy to. Get rid of all those. I will go back to the Voice First account. Let's see if we already have a demo skill. Not seeing anything labeled test right now. Alright, nothing popping out, so we will do can fulfill test. And we'll create that skill. Once that skill is set up, the only thing that we should need is the skill ID. Copy the skill ID. We will paste the skill ID right here. For our endpoint, we'll leave it as our Jovo webhook because we don't need this to be host it anywhere special. So now let's deploy what we have with Jovo deploy, --target, I believe it is info. Oh shoot, stop that. I need to run another Jovo build since I added in the skill ID. Cool. Because what I noticed up here is that it was trying to, wherever it went, it was trying to create a new Alexa skill for the project. And I didn't want it to do that. I wanted to deploy to an already existing skill. Updating now. Cool. Instead of creating, we're updating. It's also going to deploy to Google Action, which doesn't really matter. Cool. So we've now updated it. Let's verify by coming back into our skill. And we'll check down in the interfaces. And can fulfill intent request is turned on.
Hi, we have this room reserved for like next 20 minutes.
Cool. I'll get out.
Stay, it's just we're remaining for about 20 minutes.
You're good. I'll get out.
Sounds good. Alright, Master, feel free to have a seat wherever you may like.
Thank you. Getting kicked out. All right. Found a new room to work in. Give me just a sec to get hooked back up. A little embarrassing. Not super professional for me to get kicked out midstream. Oh my goodness.
Hey!
Oh my goodness.
You.
Is there a class here too?
No, there's not. I lost my HDMI cord, so I'm just checking all these classrooms.
Really random to see you.
Yeah, how are you doing?
I'm good. I'm in the middle of a live stream. Just got kicked out of the last classroom.
Oh snap! No, okay, you're good for this class.
Have a good one.
You too.
All right, we're back. So we do have can fulfill intent request in there. Let's see what the next step is. We'll go back to can fulfill. Okay, so we've added that. Next, we want to add an actual can fulfill intent into our skill. So we'll go into the SRC folder for our app.js, and right after launch, include this can fulfill intent. Once we have the can fulfill, this is where we answer the question, can my skill understand and fulfill every slot, as well as understand and fulfill the whole request? For us, we are just going to check the intent name, and then we will return real quick a yes or a no. The simplest thing that could possibly work is actually, what is this? O deploy. Oh, probably originally said Jovo deploy. I'm just going to return a this.can fulfill request.
You scared me.
You scared me.
Is there a class in here?
There's not.
Okay. Oh.
Have a good one. Today is the day of interruption. Maybe I should move closer to the door. Okay, so we have this.can fulfill request, and after that, we should be good. This is very bare bones. We're not checking for the intent name. What we should do, and I guess I'll show that real quick, is that you should verify your intent. So if this.intent name equals hello world intent. If it does that, then we know that we can fulfill it. Otherwise, you want to say that we cannot fulfill it, or maybe that you may be able to refill it. I don't know. So you know what? I'll leave this here just so that it's a little bit more proper code. Either way, when we get the can fulfill intent, it should either return a yes or a no. So to verify if that works, let's send in a test call inside of the developer portal. We'll go to test, and there's a testing document in my last YouTube video for CanFulfill intent request, which you can find by searching CanFulfill intent request Alexa, where the first result, at least for me, but who knows, come back. And down here, we see the testing JSON. So this testing JSON we can take and we can use and hopefully get a CanFulfill intent response. We will turn on testing. You can interact with the selected stage on all devices. Valid interaction model. Okay, so I have not imported a valid interaction model. We can do that with, instead of target info, we can go target model. And now this is building our model for English for the United States, and then it will deploy it to our Amazon Alexa portal. Okay, so it's deployed. Let's see over here now if it will let us. Cool, so now we can do that, and let's paste all of the JSON into here. I need my skill ID, which I will get by copying it. Now that I have the skill ID, I want to put it anywhere that it says your Alexa application ID. Your Alexa application ID. And really the important part of this request is this CanFulfill intent request and the intent it throws in there. And now let's send it off and see what we get. Okay, so we do get a successful response. Where is the CanFulfill section? Request, CanFulfill. There should be a CanFulfill part in the response. Connection error, your Jovo webhook endpoint is not running. Okay, I got to run with Jovo run, and then we'll send it again. Alright, now that our Jovo webhook is running, submit it again. This time, do we get another success? Another success. And down in our response, we're getting this response with an empty CanFulfill intent object. And this is where the error occurs, because if you look in our last video, I'm going to see if I can zoom this in. Back to my mute it. So when we're testing, you can see when we were testing it before, we get this yes. So inside of the CanFulfill, I don't know if you're able to see it, but inside of here, it's yes, CanFulfill intent. Whereas what we get is just this CanFulfill intent box with nothing in it. So let me see if we can just return a positive, an affirmative, regardless of what's here, by relaunching our Jovo server and then testing it again. We'll send this off again, and this time we are still getting an empty response. Now let's see if the other one will work, if we can send a no. So instead, we'll go cannot fulfill, and we'll see if this works. Crash the server, relaunch it. Back in the developer console, when we send that off, we still get this empty CanFulfill object. The bad part about this is you can't publish until this actually works, which I can verify inside of one of our other skills. When we go to one of the skills that we're focused on publishing right now, I believe it's this one. Yeah, for VoiceStrikeCleaner.com. We try to go over to certification to try to get the app certified, and unfortunately in our functional test, we get the skill implements CanFulfill intent request, but when the interface calls it, we found that the endpoint responds with an unsupported format. As a result, we can't publish. So I'm going to send this video off to the Jovo team and see if there's a way for them to fix this. If anyone else has any suggestions or questions, please post them in the comments below. Otherwise, thank you for joining us at Voice First.